Welcome everyone for another event with Transformative Technology Amman. We are now hosting a new startup, this time from Saudi Arabia, from KSA. We're hosting Hanan and Haytham, founders of Mana by Us. It's an online platform that teaches yoga and meditation for Arabic audience. I'm so happy for having them with us. What's special about this startup is that I see it like an authentic one, as they started offline and then moved to online. So they have a special relationship between them and their audience. And then let's say it's boomed in the online. And I've been tracking their progress, and I'm happy to having them with us, talking about how they started, what are the challenges they faced, and what are they looking forward to do in the future. And so for those who don't know what is transformative technology, it's an NGO that is based in USA that supports entrepreneurs and innovators for launching their startups and supporting them in having funding, feedback, and friends. So Hanan and Haytham, you can start now. And yeah, please.
Shall we share the screen? Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Rania.
You're welcome.
We're happy to be here, to be among this community, among transformative technology. And yeah, let's share the screen.
Let's do this. I'm gonna share this.
All right. So we're the founders of Mana by Us.
Our 2-year-old baby.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, almost. Well, yeah. And our motto or slogan is your safe space to come back to you. So this has always been, even when we first started the business, and we'll tell you the story now. It actually started with Hanan. So she started her yoga studio, and well, you can tell the story about that.
I basically had a corporate career. I did the whole 9 to 5. It was absolutely nourishing to a certain point, and then things happen in life. I feel we all go through something that kind of gives us a nudge, or you can call it a nudge, an awakening, and yoga. There's always this topic: did I find yoga or did yoga find me? We found each other. And it just, it really changed my life. And you'll hear a lot of people say the same thing when they start practicing yoga, is that their life starts to change. And I realized that an uplift wanted to happen in my life. I found my personal practice and then gradually started teaching without really intending to teach. It just happened with a very small group. The small group became a bigger group. And then gradually I left my corporate career and focused on my yoga studio, which boomed. And we had the leading yoga studio. Well, I had the leading yoga studio in Saudi Arabia for 5 years. And then decided, Haytham in the background was always telling me he comes from a marketing background. He was constantly hinting to moving this online, reaching a bigger audience. Not just to focus on Saudi Arabia, but to expand and focus on the Middle East, as yoga is booming in the Middle East. Well-being in general is booming in the Middle East, and we hold yoga retreats all throughout the world as well. So when he hinted this, I was like, you know what? I've been teaching yoga at a studio for long enough now. How about we take a pause from teaching face-to-face classes and focus on retreats and building the platform? And
that's what we did. We changed country. We moved to another country because we wanted to be closer to nature. We wanted to embark on this journey of building Mana by Us and living this purposeful life. And
then COVID happened.
And so basically, Mana by Us was launched in August 2020. right in the middle of the world situation with COVID, and we wanted, like, the whole thinking behind Mana by Us was we wanted to reach more people. To be honest, it's because for a very long time, mental health and yoga and all these practices were kind of limited to those who had access to them. And by that, I mean people who were financially able to access such activities and like who had them in proximity as well. Well, as a studio and as the values that we hold that we've always lived by, our studio has always been open for everyone. We've always tried to make this concept that everyone hears about, this like interconnection, this to make it more accessible to everyone. And that's what we did with Mana by Us. We wanted literally people in villages to have access to this innate knowledge that we all have within.
And to just make it less intimidating, I feel one thing that I've learned over the years is that we need more role models for a Saudi girl like myself. Or I'm 34 today. When I was growing up, I didn't have anybody that I could look up to teaching yoga. Yoga was available, but it was very, very niche. It was very targeted to a very certain audience. And when I would go to yoga classes, I would feel intimidated. You either were in the IT class, very high end. I just didn't feel like I fit into any of the groups that were practicing yoga. So I was like, how could I make this more accessible? So one thing for sure is I wanted to drop down the prices. Pricings were absurd in yoga classes in Saudi. When I first started, when this is like back 7-8 years ago, it was much high. It was expensive for, like I said, for a niche crowd. And I just wanted to make it more accessible, less intimidating. And of course, to teach in the Arabic language, because when girls come, there's this maybe the shyness to admitting or just saying, I don't understand what you're saying, or wanting to ask a question but feeling like intimidated or shy. So teaching in the Arabic language was something that I can't claim to be the first, but I was one of the ones that who paved the way in teaching in English. Teaching in Arabic.
Yeah, so to tell you a bit about Mana by Us. So Mana by Us is an online platform, and it's a lifestyle and a movement to inspire growth and healing and mindful yoga and meditation. We have different categories on the website. So we teach yoga, and we teach meditation and breath work, and we have specialized programs, and we have podcasts and blogs. So in general, we do have a unique methodology, and this unique methodology is honestly the result of of having this experience, not just in yoga. I mean, we both were in the corporate field. I personally, when we started, I left my 10-year career in advertising. I worked for multinationals, and I got to that point where I felt like I was drained. I reached to the breaking point and I needed something. And that's where finally I listened to everything that Hanan has been trying to tell me for the past
he burned out basically.
So I had a burnout, and then I tried this thing that they talk about called yoga, and it helped. And I felt like, you know what, it really is just about finding that balance. It's not about leaving the corporate field. Like, I miss the corporate field. I just wish that during that time I had the tools to take care of my mental health as much as I do now. And that's where like my passion for this developed, and that's how we both met. we wanted this to be something practical. We didn't want this to be something where people feel like woo-hoo or something.
Or over-promising.
Or, you know, because there is this whole, yes, about it. But for me, for example, it's a very practical practice to be with myself, to connect, to understand what's going on, to breathe, to experience what's going on inside of me in a very personal way. It's a very personal experience that once you've developed or once you've tasted, you feel like, ooh, this is something good. I want more of that. So we do have a unique methodology because we, as I said, we come from a corporate background. Hanan also comes from a learning and development field in the corporate background. So it's like everything has been, in a way, like going in this direction of self-development and like empowerment and all that. So, and that's how we developed this unique methodology. So we don't teach like fitness yoga. We don't like to think of it that way because the foundation for us is all about inner connection. So we focus on things more about body awareness and connection. We focus on regulating the nervous system. We focus on like stillness and self-awareness, observing, understanding, starting this inner dialogue, understanding what's going on the mat, those emotions that are arising, understanding them, emotional release and relief, which is a big part of what we do, because one of the like big things we believe in is that the body holds on to emotions, holds on to trauma. So our methodology really tries to focus on releasing unclogging, releasing trauma from the body, and of course mental and physical enablement, because we do believe that it is all connected in the sense when you feel enabled within your body. And I think people like in yoga they say flow, they call it a flow. It really is a flow. When you're able to flow, it means you're able to move your body freely, you're able to feel enabled within your body, and also mentally, because yoga can be really challenging in different ways. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking also mentally, because when you come to the mat, things will arise.
Rather you want them to rise or not, it's like this mirror. Exactly.
Anger might arise, sadness. You will have to face those emotions and like try and change and regulate. And these are what the tools that we teach are really all about. So that's how we developed this unique methodology, which we made sure that it's relevant to the Arab, to our target audience, and also to the like day-to-day life. And you can see like we have different classes and with different timings, 30-minute classes, 20-minute classes, 1-hour classes, and they're all themed classes. So we focus on topics, and this is something which is very important, I believe, even from an experience standpoint. So for anyone who's watching, who's interested in how to build an experience, for example, we wanted this not to be just a class. We treat every class as an experience. So we put a theme to it. It's not just about, you're not just gonna get on the mat and practice.
And it's not a bunch of just poses that you're gonna learn. It's under like one of the biggest things that we share is allowing yourself to create space in your life. This concept of creating space, a space where you can show up, a space where you are holding yourself accountable, a space where you allow yourself to exit this race sometimes that we live called life. And we allow ourselves to exit that and just allow ourselves to tap into this, again, to the wisdom and to regulate, to enter back into this race more regulated, how many people around us are acting out from a triggered place, or from a space of fear, from a space of anger or rage, or we're more reacting than acting from a true space within. And I keep thinking, like, the way the practice has helped me is just helped me be more anchored, to help me be more truthful to myself. When I'm more true with myself, automatically I am more truthful with others. It all starts with us. I feel like when I hold myself accountable, when I start carving out space and put myself as a priority, things start changing in my life. And this is the whole, when we say yoga changes your life, this is how yoga changes your life, because you start showing up for yourself in a different manner, in a more kind and compassionate and understanding way. So imagine if we all showed up for ourselves this way, how would the world be? A less I feel like a less reactive space, a space like a war zone. It becomes actually a space where I want to show up and feel heard, not just I'm not just speaking to speak at you. I'm actually listening to what you're having to say. So
yeah,
we're very passionate about this, as you can see.
Yeah, I can see. This is a great, yeah, really. And, yeah, we can. I have a question, but we can keep the questions for. You can continue. Yeah.
But I just wanted to say about the themed classes. Yeah, we wanted to just really make sure that when you read a class name, it calls you. So you feel like, oh, this is what I need to come back to myself. That's the class that I need, or I need to release. So it's not just a yoga class. It's in Arabic, in the Arabic language, the names of the classes are very appealing. So we wanted it to be a journey where people allow themselves to feel what their body needs, and it's accessible to all levels. So even if you've never practiced a day of yoga in your life, you can practice any of the classes. The guidance, I give praise to myself that the way I guide is so particular that even if you never look at the screen and you just hear my guidance, you will be able to follow the class very well.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, so overall, it's an experience where we mix like philosophy or like life philosophy to like provide a whole experience.
Yeah, amazing.
All right. So we wanted to share with you our deep values, and we call them deep values because like these are not just the type of values, like there are levels for values. These are the values that are the closest to our truth. So it's the same way we treat our own, like the same way we deal with ourselves. We deal with Mana as a brand that has deep inner values. So our values are no judgment. First of all,
I guessed one of them, authenticity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Mana is a safe space for you to exchange and interact with like-minded people in a safe and non-judgmental environment. This was like a non-negotiable for us, and this is not just. So how does this impact, or how does this take shape on the platform? This is the etiquette for people engaging on the platform. This is like number one. There's no judgment. This is a space where we can all share. This is a space where we can be different, but we can be tolerant as well, and we can exchange and we can learn from each other by being open.
Yeah, where there's a lot of after, like, let's say a program that we launch, there's lots of, like, we have a program called 21 Days of Change, and it's live classes. So there's hundreds of people that join the program, and then afterwards they share their experiences on the community page. And when people are sharing, they're sharing some raw stuff, like they're just allowing themselves to express. We come in from the Middle East. It's changing, and it's changing quite rapidly, but there's this intimidation, like we weren't brought up to really express much how our emotions, how we feel. So creating this community page where people are using their real names and sharing how they truly are feeling.
Big deal.
It's a really big deal, and it's without somebody waiting to give you that their 2 cents or that advice. Because as well, as much as it's like I'm just sharing just to share. I'm not sharing to listen to how I should change or be better, or how I should do something different. I'm just sharing because when I share, I de-shame the shame that I might be feeling is automatically decreased just because I'm allowing myself to use the power of my voice and share.
So that's the first value. Second is authenticity. And by authenticity, what we mean is authenticity to us is about acknowledging the emotional and physical and spiritual aspects of our existence and how they impact our the perception of the world around us. And third of all, openness. Openness to us is about having an empty cup that can take in new ideas and concepts and ideologies with curiosity rather than judgment. I mean, we believe like if there's a prerequisite for healing and for like self-development, it would be this type of openness. It would be walking with this empty cup where like when somebody presents you with a new experience or a new ideology, a new thought, you don't go and judge it straight away. You actually have the curiosity to understand. And this is how, and that triggers the real meaningful interactions and Community, of course, we're all about community. We believe that healthy exchange and interaction allows us to grow and be inspired by each other. Compassion. This is like, maybe this is what the name that we would give to the practice, to the actual practice, would be called compassion. We believe that self-compassion is a prerequisite for understanding and healing. And once we are more compassionate with ourselves, we can be more compassionate with others. Very important value for us, which is vulnerability, which is basically when people express, they allow themselves to be vulnerable. We believe that vulnerability is the gateway to connection and healing. And by allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we hold space for others to also feel vulnerable. And we remove the shame associated with sharing our emotions. And finally, seeking. I mean, like at the end of the day, if you don't seek, that is like this is the essence, right? So seeking to us is the conscious decision to shed light on the darkest corners within ourselves. So this is, I think this is where the seeking is. It's not about seeking things outside. It's about seeking to like uncover those like areas within ourselves, our shadows, and understand them. And shed light on those parts of our existence.
And we wanted to attract seekers as well. So like, the more open you are, the more you have this willingness to seek. We're vibing then. We're friends then.
Because this will give a room for expansion and learning and.
Exactly.
This is very interesting and great because you know that one very essential part of founding transformative tech startups is having this strong foundation of values. I see a lot of, when I took the Transformative Tech Academy, there was like this focus on building a strong foundation within the values, because this is the engine that will support the growth, and I can see that you nailed it, guys. So this is really very interesting.
Thank you so much.
So why do we exist? Now this is we basically this is what we always live by and think about, the purpose, why we exist. We don't like to call it a vision. We like to call it our higher purpose. And that is to inspire a conscious, healthy, and enabled community that is fueled by connection, tolerance, openness, and healing in order to grow as individuals who can then radiate their light to others and to future generations. We like to call it our day-to-day intention, which is our mission. And that is to provide people with the tools and guidance they need to embark on their own interconnection and healing journey. Because essentially we believe that we all have the answers within, and we all have the ability to be our own guides. So we want Mana by Us to be this this platform, and that helps you reconnect to that wisdom within. And
Yeah.
So our current community, we have on the website, let's start with the website. We have over 5,000 subscribers, among which on a monthly basis, we have 100 to 150 active subscribers. By active, I mean paying. And usually when we launch programs, we have 1,000 plus subscribers. And you'll find out the difference between like in the business model between the special programs and the monthly memberships in a bit. On Instagram, we have close to, well, now actually, it's 25,000 followers. Hanan has, well, now 110,000 followers on Instagram. On YouTube, we have 121, actually now I think it's 122,000 subscribers. And also with Hanan's podcast, we've reached so far 67,000 downloads over the past year.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is great. Within a short time, this shows how it's the Arabic, let's say Arabic, there's a huge potential for Arabic audience. They are yearning for having such professional platforms. And later in the questions, I will ask you something about the whole subject of personal development in the Middle East, but you can proceed now. So yeah.
Absolutely. But I just want to highlight that actually Hanan has been, who has like 110,000 followers, has been like building that over like the past, how long?
Past many years. I've had this account since it's organic, slow growth.
Then it was. And then suddenly it's exponential. It gets exponential. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is how things go. Yeah. So great.
We are a subscription-based model, which was relatively new to the Arab audiences, by the way.
It's new. It is new.
We offer 3 types of core memberships.
It's new.
As a subscription model. So the idea of subscribing to something and having recurring subscription was new.
Okay.
And this is one of the things that we will explain that we faced as a challenge.
Yeah, we faced as a challenge. So when we started, there weren't many people or like very few platforms that offer something close to what we offer, but there are many people that offer programs, for example.
They sell programs.
They sell programs. But when we launched Mana by Us, we didn't want this to be like a program or a one-time thing, because in essence, if you don't practice, if you don't continue, if you don't maintain this consistency, then you won't really benefit. And if you don't benefit, then you will not come back. So from the start, we wanted to build, like even in terms of a model, in terms of the model, we wanted to encourage people to maintain this lifestyle, because that's how they will feel the benefits and continue. So it took some time. It took some education. It was slow in the beginning, but
the truth is that people were, I feel, got intimidated, like, oh, you want me to sign up for 6 months? That's a big commitment. Or you want me to sign up for a year? Though there is a price difference. When you sign up for the year, you get the entire all the content that's on the platform for a price. Or if you're signing up for the 6 months, you get everything on the platform for a price. A comparison to if you're signing up for the monthly package, you don't get everything. You just get the yoga classes that are available, excluding the programs. So we noticed that a lot of people even approached us in the beginning. They were like, oh, can we just buy this class? Or can I just practice this? And there was a lot of education that we had to invest in, and helping people understand that this is not a one-shot thing. This is not a one-time thing. This is something, a lifestyle. This is something that you're going to be incorporating into your days, your weeks. So it's changing this mindset took a while, and we're still learning as we go.
Of course, you can cancel the subscription at any time with a click of a button. But as a model, that's the core of the business. So yeah. we offer longer duration memberships with more features, and we also offer specialized programs on the platform. So we faced some challenges along the way. As we said, the subscription model is relatively new to the Arab audiences, and it took time for people to grasp the concept. And mostly with just the two of us running the show, it has been and is still a challenge to balance the amount of effort spent on different departments of the business, because we create the content, we produce, we edit, we design, we write, we manage our finances, and it's a limited company with everything that comes with that. So yeah, so it's quite a lot to manage at once. So some things will get prioritized over other things. Finding the right human talents that understand our industry and our school of thought has proven to be difficult, which forced us at many times to develop our own communication, which also meant spending more time on design and content writing. Honestly, it's difficult to find, especially when you're like working with freelancers, to find someone who is well aware of the things we talk about and our industry, and at the same time has that level of quality, of creativity, of design that matches our standards. And it's a continuous search for us. With having to invest so much time on the content production and communication development, we had less time and the ability to invest on important aspects of the business, such as retention and sales strategies. So we had to compromise on certain things. We had to, but we made the decision that, and you'll find out actually, let me talk about the last challenge. And also consistency in our industry is also a challenge. And the problem with that is, as I said, if you don't practice, you don't benefit. And when you don't benefit, you're not likely to renew your membership. So yeah. So with all that, we still were able to grow steadily. And that is by actually having a specific mentality and by adopting a customer value-driven strategy. So this mentality, basically, we said, all right, we're going to focus on just building the customer experience and providing value as much as we can across every touch point. If we are able to provide value, then I know we should never like forget about marketing and sales and all that, but at least we would know that we have that that value that will keep on attracting people, attracting the right people organically. And when the time comes, when we have the time and financial resources to start the marketing and the sales campaigns and all that, we would have the foundation. We would have the most important thing of the whole process, and that's what we do. So when it comes to the website content, as we said, the topics, the themed classes, it is all value driven. Our newsletters, the topics, our weekly classes, podcasts and blogs, everything is actually revolves around the real consumer needs. So sometimes we even ask our followers to give us feedback on like we request from them to share about their life, about things that they're facing with their lives, so that we can accordingly develop our communication. We also follow an inbound marketing strategy with our social media communication. So we don't just talk about yoga, and this is very important. We talk about healing, growth, lifestyle. We talk about everything that revolves around mental health and balance, and because the objective on social media is to provide value, regardless if it's linked to our core offering or not. So we will give you value on topics, on broad topics. We also focused on highlighting the brand value and benefits across every communication touch point. We did not hold, by the way, we did not hold any promotion in the first year of operation. We were keen not to do that. It was very important for us to establish the brand equity and value prior to holding any promotions. Because honestly, we've really spent so much, we invest so much time on the experience. And we wanted people to understand and know the value behind this experience. So we didn't want to do promotions on specific occasions, just like everyone else, because we believe that overall self-development is, if you truly want to work on yourself, you will pay the money, regardless how much that is. Yeah. And that is what we do. When you truly want to change, when you truly want to grow, you will pay the...
You need to invest, yeah.
Exactly. You will make the investment. And this is what we actually say on our platform. We say invest in yourself. We don't say sign up, for example.
And one thing that you will definitely experience on the platform is you will never experience bad sound quality or low quality, like the quality of the videos that we're taking, the effort that we put in, we are willing, like we choose where to live according to where we can shoot proper high quality content. Like I wanted people, when they sign up to this platform, that they're getting something that is so high quality that, and honestly, that's something that we suffered from in the Middle East. When you're checking out all these websites in the Middle East, you're like, there's so much just like the imagery is low res and it's pixelated and the sound audio is horrible and the same repeated music. Us, honestly, and I say with so much pride, is that the quality of the content that you're getting, aside from the teaching, is visually, it's so appealing and so easy on the eye. It's so inviting. Yeah.
And finally, it was very important for us to humanize the brand. And I think it naturally was humanized by us sharing our good days and bad days and our own reflections, because this is what makes us closer to people. So and it makes them feel closer, and it makes the brand feel more humanized and relevant. So when they see me being vulnerable in a blog, for example, they get to see the human behind this thing. They get to see that, oh, this human has the same, shares my pain in a way, and has so yeah, it changes everything, and it's amazing, honestly, when they leave the comments and they'd be like, thank you, Hanan and Haytham. Although I personally don't contribute much to the teaching experience, I'm not in the front, but
people know his value very much.
yeah. So it's really nice to have this flow, to have this community, and have this yeah. So
But did we mention that we built the platform, that our platform is not a...
Yes, so our platform is, by the way, is not based on any template or like these international templates that people use, such as Learn Worlds and stuff like that. Because first of all, we knew these international templates had limitations when it comes to Arabic language, and also we wanted to build a platform that is scalable and easily customizable. So we didn't want to be limited by any template. So since day one, we started, like you see our values, this is what we started with, and we never wanted to compromise on that. So we spent a lot, we invested in building the platform from scratch, because we know on the long run, when we adapt new technologies, when we want to scale up, when we want to integrate any service, it would be a lot easier for us. The only challenge we face is with behaviorals. This is a constant, like work in progress, like having behavioral measurement tools. But other than that, we are honestly proud to have a platform that was built from scratch. And even when it comes to the algorithm, to all the trials, everything, this is literally, it was us and our developer working out, even going into the like mathematical details of the platform, of the subscription model. So yeah.
Interesting.
About the future, 1 second. So for the next phase for us, we would need support, like we feel we need support from professional individuals or entities in the digital experience and infrastructure to maximize organic growth. We would want to invest in digital marketing, creating like funnels and optimizing our communication to drive leads and conversions. We are looking to have a unique team of creative developers who can adapt the massive content of the platform. So as I said, we've created an immense amount of valuable content.
We have over 100 classes on the platform.
135 classes. So, and what we need is a team who understands the value and can basically start changing this content, easily adapting it into promotional communication and different types of communication to reach more people and to get our message across to our audiences. The vision for Mana by Us is for it to become a full enabling experience with a multitude of tools and instructors and health categories. So actually, we don't want to stop at just yoga and meditation. We want to go more into, health when it comes to nutrition. We want to go into meditative teachings and creative practices that also help people feel enabled in other ways. So for that, we need more resources to invest in the production and research and sourcing of new talents that fit the brand values and objectives, of course. We are also looking to invest in research and innovation in order to find solutions that would enhance the in-home practice experience. So this is something actually very important, which we've always thought about. The in-home experience, well, there was a big challenge about the in-home experience in general, because when you are in a yoga class, there is it is a very interesting experience when you're with people, but when you're all alone at home, things are a bit different. So for the future, we constantly are thinking about how to make the in-home experience more rewarding.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanan and Haytham. This is really interesting and great You know, within very short time, you've really created this basic and strong foundation for you to scale and grow, inshallah, ya Rab. I have my questions, and I will start with the reason why you name why it is named Mana by us. What's the name of the?
You can say the mana, I'll say the bias.
Tamam. Mana is, so I am Saudi from my father, and I am Hawaiian from my mother. My mother is native Hawaiian.
Wow.
Mana in the Hawaiian language is the energy life force that exists within everything, every living being.
Hey.
So
like
mana,
chi, like chi.
Exactly. So actually the name Mana came to us. We were in Bali holding one of our retreats, yoga retreats, and we were really torn with the name. I kept saying the name will come to us, the name will come to us. And literally we're sitting at a restaurant and we heard two people talking amongst each other and repeating the word Mana in the Balinese language. So I was like, Mana, it's Mana. So it's Mana, and what by us means, I will explain.
By us is the community. It means by all of us.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean me and Hanan. It means all.
Okay. It means everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, very beautiful. And I have this first. Let me see. So now, when someone opens the platform, can they open it on the mobile and have this experience on the mobile through mobile? Yeah. So
however, sorry, we don't recommend. Well, definitely our website is mobile friendly, but we don't recommend practicing the phone because it's limited.
Yeah, you need this big screen and to track the. Yeah.
Yes, and you can integrate. Our videos can be reflected on the TV. You can AirPlay the platform, by the way, as well.
Yeah. And I wanted also to ask you, how do you view maybe Hanan mentioned this a little bit, how do you view the market of personal development in the Middle East? How do you see this? For me, for example, in Jordan, I have this since I started 10 years ago in this domain, my interest, and I'm also passionate about technology. And even though since a very short time, still there is those two separated groups, those who are interested in technology alone, and those who are into meditation and yoga alone. And there's no this, this connection, people who are interested in both and who know the value of building and founding startups in the area of mental health and well-being. And I see that there's a huge potential in the Middle East and the Arabic market. But I see that there is let's say, you said that, Hanan, less professionality, let's say, and even with this less professionality, people are yearning to have this these teachings and information. So from your experience, how do you see this in Saudi Arabia? And maybe I think it started, the whole personal development booming started in the Gulf, and then moved to it's now moving to us. But what I see that it started in the Gulf, in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. And then until now, we don't have this strong base of having this professional representation, let's say, of the whole thing.
You want to? In simple terms, when I first started teaching, I really did not think that my classes, my yoga classes, the face-to-face classes, each of my classes had a waiting list, and the class would be fully booked with a waiting list. So gradually, I'm like, there's something here. And it's when it came to every single retreat that I would hold would be fully booked with a waiting list. And then by the way, something we would love to share is we held the first legal mixed as in men and women yoga retreat.
Wow.
It was, we had 120 people attend. We literally sold out.
That was in 2019. That was in 2019.
It was mind-boggling to see people driving from different regions of the country, people that are people that are religious, people that are open, people that are it was astonishing with different backgrounds coming just to they hear this concept of yoga and they would just want to understand more. So this openness was there. And even now on Instagram, so one of the things that I feel like people gravitate towards are just the truth that I feel that we share. We share our raw experiences, we share our hardships, and people like, one thing that I was very particular is to not make this I don't know, there's this toxic positivity somewhat happening as well when it comes into this wellness. Like we didn't want to, like, again, overpromise or make it seem like everything is rainbows and butterflies. It's just like sharing truth, and people start just gravitating. And you can see this by all the speakers, the conscious speaker movement that is happening. There's so much. So even on YouTube, all these people that are, when you can see through the YouTube content, the viewships of these videos, and these accounts that are now taking a lot of English content and translating it into the Arabic language. So as much as when I started, I thought, oh, there's not a lot out there. Now I've been out of Saudi, by the way, for the past 2 years. We've been based here in Turkey. It has boomed even more. Now there's a wellness hub in Saudi Arabia called Al-Ula. I don't know if Al-Ula is targeted for, it's the way it's positioning wellness, yes, for wellness. So consciousness in general is just something I think that is booming so rapidly that we can't grasp it even.
I think, honestly, I think I think as mankind, we've reached to a point where I don't want to say we don't have an option, but like I think globally we all feel this sense of like longing for something more, that something more
behind us.
And this is what's driving it across, I think, the entire globe.
And COVID as well. Yeah, I keep saying, like, what happened in COVID is people started waking up even more. When you're stuck at home,
you have to face yourself.
You have to face yourself, your demons, your dark side, the things that scare you. You want guidance. People want guidance. People want somebody to tell them there's light at the end of the tunnel. You know.
True. And I think also it's it's the right time for anyone who is thinking to transform their practice into tech field, because now is the time. Yes. Calm, you know, the meditation app Calm started 10 years ago, maybe, or more, and now you see how it's. But yes, until now we don't have this very Arabic big, let's say, platform, and there's a huge potential. So yeah, I have. I can see that your startup, inshallah, and you will. Inshallah, all the best. And I need, if anyone who would like to ask any question, say anything, you're welcome to just unmute yourself and speak. Anyone who would like to add anything, please. Any question? Any question? No questions?
I guess we gave a really clear
yeah. Yeah. Really, they're very interesting. I'm really proud of such masses. Thank you, Rida.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you're really proud of you. And really wishing you all the best. And for the, we can maybe stop sharing if we stop recording, sorry. If there is no question, okay, I will stop sharing here. Stop video, okay. Stop video, where's the stop record? Okay. Yeah.